Alright, hey guys, so it's Aiden, and there are a lot of things I need to talk about in this video. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the changes that have happened within the last 6 months of my life. Um, for starters, I did move in November to my mom's place, which I remember talking about that in my last video, the last video that I made all the way before November. It was just like December, I don't know, sometime around that time frame. It's been about 6 months. The time that I made that video, I was thinking about moving in with my mom, and that did happen, but it didn't work out for a lot of reasons. And then I moved back to Quincy and stayed there for the rest of December and moved again in January. I moved in with two roommates in January and then left about March or so and stayed with a different friend. Um, and he took me in because I got kicked out of the place with the other two people. Not intentionally, but that it was a sticky situation and I just didn't want to be in it, and I removed myself from the situation. Um, I did nothing to get kicked out. It's just that it was not something I could handle. So I moved out and I moved in with another friend until I got my own place. And I've been in this apartment since April 15th of this year. So it's almost 2 months. Um, there have been a lot of good things happening and a lot of really unfortunate things and some really hard, tough things that have been going on in my life. For starters, I want to talk about some really kind of difficult things. It may not be the best idea for somebody to listen to these, and I guess if anything, this is my trigger warning. Um, Mainly because these topics are some pretty heavy topics to talk about, but I feel like they are topics that I just need to reach out and talk to people about because it's a main problem that I see in this world and things that are happening not only in my life but in other people's lives. Um, what I want to talk about is my grandmother passed away in May, like May 24th, and it's a heavy topic. And I guess if you don't want to listen to these topics, then that's fine. You can exit the video. But I'm going to be talking about my grandma passing away and about my mom who went through a pretty rough time, and she tried to commit suicide. And it was not something that I was really planning on talking about in depth about the particular situation, but I do need to talk about it, particularly because it is a part of my life and it is a major blow to my emotional well being and others' emotional well beings, and then I want to prevent it. I want to give you guys my thoughts on this particular subject because it is so very important to talk about this. It's very, very important. So, if you would like to exit the video now, you can. Alright, so I want to talk about my grandma first because it is a lighter subject and I feel that it will be a lot easier to talk about it than my mom, and I will save that for last. So, my grandma passed away from heart disease, congestive heart failure, and she passed away a year and a year and 4 months after my grandfather passed away. He passed away last year in February. And I no longer have grandparents on my mother's side. And it's kind of a subject that I have not really talked about with friends, family, people that care about me. I haven't really wanted to talk about it because it's a really heavy subject to talk about, and I'm not entirely certain how I feel about it yet. If anything, I'm sad. And I guess that's really the only thing I can think about sometimes is whether I feel sad or whether I feel happy about not feeling sad, or that I don't feel anything. And it's quite common for people to not feel upset about somebody passing away if they aren't very close to them. Like, I was close with her, but I was much closer with my grandfather, who passed away last year. And I have had a lot of time to think about this particular thing happening, and it's incredibly hard. It's incredibly hard for me to work through the emotions of just losing a loved one. But it's hard for me to work through it because I don't know how, and I don't know how to feel right now. Like, I don't know how to feel, I guess is what I'm trying to convey. So, I mean, it's only been 2 weeks or so since my grandma passed. And granted, life is always constantly changing and moving forward. Sometimes I feel like it moves forward too fast and I don't have time to catch up and deal with the emotional pain that it left, that I feel like I'm being left behind in a lot of ways. So, sorry, my fridge kicked on. I'm recording this video on the little bar counter I have in my apartment. So the second subject that I want to talk about, and it's my main concern because this is a very heavy subject and a very important subject to me to talk about. My mom tried to remove herself from this world last Monday. It's only been a week and something odd days. I know why she tried to, because she was tired. And it was accidental in a lot of ways, because she really didn't want to. And in a lot of ways, she wanted to, because she wanted the pain to stop. And I know what that feels like. I know where that comes from, and I see why she thought that and felt that and made that type of decision. The main thing that I want to talk about this particular thing is that it's not the answer. It's a temporary solution to how you're feeling. Because if anything, these people that you're leaving behind are going to have to feel the same feelings of loss and pain. And it's not okay. It's a permanent fix for a temporary problem. And I have been there. I have tried to remove myself from this world. And I'm still here. I'm still here. I want to be here. But at one time I didn't. And I don't want anyone else to feel like that. Like that they have no choice. And that is their last option. Because the pain that they leave behind, the story that they didn't tell, the things that they don't get to do, the people they don't meet, the things they don't see, that's what I'm afraid of, is that these people feel so horrible, sad, miserable, pain, that's their only thought, their only care, their only motive is to get rid of it. And I've been there. And I realize that that is something you think about. Even if you don't really do it, you think about it. How many of you can say that you have thought about it? How many of you can say that you know somebody affected by it? How many of you can raise your hand and think that the next person behind you is going to do the same? We live in a world where pain is all around us, and we feel like we have to disguise it because we feel like our emotions are inferior, that we don't matter, that we're a blip on the map, that we are a dot in this world, and that our feelings don't matter. But they do. You matter. Your feelings matter. Your thoughts matter. Your life matters, because if you're not here, who's gonna make your greatness? Who's gonna take that spot that maybe you could have painted the next great painting, sculpted the next great sculpture, climbed the next highest mountain, beat a world record, have done something in this world to have made a difference? Who is going to make that difference if you aren't here? And could your life have made a difference, but you just weren't here to see it? See, the thing is that I need to remind you that people see what's going on, and they care. They care a lot. Don't sell yourself short thinking that people don't care. And if you need somebody to care, if you need somebody to talk to, I'm here. Because I've been there. I felt so hopeless that life didn't have a meaning. And you aren't alone. And I love you. And this video was made not intentionally to make you feel inferior to the world, but that I need you to know that if no one will love you, I will. If no one will hold your hand, I will. And if no one can see you or feel your presence in this world and you think that that's really how they feel, I'm here. Because I don't want anyone to feel alone. Because I did. And I know my mom did. Does. Had. And I don't want you to feel that way either. I don't want anyone watching my videos to think that somebody doesn't care. To think that life has no meaning. So this video is incredibly long, yes. But there are topics in it that are heavy. Heavy, heavy burdens and weights of the world that I needed to speak about, that I need to speak out about. Because the truth is that every person watching my videos knows someone affected by suicide, or the thoughts of suicide, or depression. And this is a fight against ourselves. The world that we live in is cruel. And I don't want a single person to feel the way that I did. I could have lost my mom very easily, but I didn't, and she's here, and I have spent every moment thanking God, whoever, whatever, just being thankful that she's here. So, I love you. The world loves you, and people need you. And that's the message that I need you to know. It gets better. I'm proof. Living, walking, talking, breathing proof. Things get better. And there is a light. There is a light. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking and I will see you guys next time. I'm going to make a part 2 to this video that is a transitional related video. So I'll see you soon.